I'm gonna go in and work a 6-day probably this week because I want it. I don't wanna say no to her. What do I
Really?
do?
So there's a consequence to that business model for you, correct?
There is. I'm gonna lose half a day off.
So,
Or 3 hours, whatever.
really? And that's just this week. How many more times are you going to lose that this year?
Every week.
So there's this word, it's actually one of the bricks, called boundaries. And would you say that your boundaries are strong or weak right now?
Yeah, week.
Yeah. And this isn't a make wrong, it's a make like aware. So a boundary is something, a defined line that you've created in your life and in your business. It's structured. And these are my boundaries. And they will either respect them and or not. But I want to give you clarity. For people that attend Champ Camp, one of the homework assignments on night 1 is to write an ideal client vision statement. And your name again?
Heather.
Heather.
How do you be flexible and have boundaries?
Well, I'm not, that's your business 101, that's not necessarily mine. So I think flexibility is okay, but I think you're being unreasonably flexible. They're not showing any flexibility if they're demanding you to come in on a day off.
No, they're not.
So if you want an ideal client, is this Jane Doe an ideal client? Take the money out of the equation. Is she an ideal client? Can she be replaced by an ideal client who honors your boundaries and still is a $150 ticket?
Yeah.
Do you think there's more of them out there in the world still?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So we get locked into the fear of, I'm going to lose a $150 client, and Heather, I get it. I so get it. However, when you run and operate by fear, you lock yourself into this little mold. And then you become this yes machine. And you're training them how to treat you. She knows she doesn't have to book the appointment because you're always going to come in on your day off. You're going to squeeze her in, you're going to stay late, you're going to come early. That does not affect her. She does not lose sleep over you whatsoever, I promise.